It has been a hot second since I've posted on YouTube, but I am back. It's been such a crazy last few months. I did a Q&A on my Instagram about a month ago. You guys had some great questions and I wanted to answer some of them here today. So let's go through them and see what we have. Answer about 10 of them. There was literally like 200, so I could make a whole nother video on it. So let me know if you want that. The first one though is, does your faith ever interfere with being an influencer? Which I loved this question. I think it's honestly a really good question and a good question to like kind of self-reflect on. Short answer, no. Although it is frustrating at times, people misunderstand like what you might believe and they think certain things that aren't true. So that kind of is annoying sometimes. There will also be like internet trolls who just love to say anything and everything. One, to make you mad, and two, I just don't think that they're properly informed and they don't know any better, and it's not really their fault. Always have an internet troll or someone who won't like you, so you know what? All you can do is just try your very best in everything that you do. No matter literally what you do in your life, someone will always not like you. So just know that and move on and, you know, just live your life. Honestly, most people are very respectful of people who are religious, at least the people I'm around. A lot of my friends and family don't believe what I do or aren't religious, and that's fine. There's literally nothing wrong with that. I think that we can all be respectful and all just kind of love one another, no matter what anyone believes or doesn't believe, you know? Number two, how did you and Connor meet? Connor played college football in Utah, where I grew up in Utah. I moved to LA. And then I was modeling out there, and then like randomly Connor moved out to Costa Mesa, California, which is super random. We were mutuals on Instagram, and then I swiped up and was like, is this like Laguna Beach? And he was like, yeah, are you here? And I'm like, well, I live in LA now, so like we should hang out. We went on a first date, a second date, everything was cool. When I first met Connor, I knew I wanted him to be in my life forever. Like I knew that. Although it just wasn't the time for us. We stayed really good friends. A year later, we hit it off again. I came back to my hometown and he happened to be in my hometown at the same time, which is so random. I went to the roller skating rink and I invited everyone I knew from my hometown. He happened to be there. We talked the whole time. I said, I am seriously the worst. I have been like the worst this last whole year. Let's do something. Let's go on a date. I'll take you out. Because Connor had been just so persistent in trying, and I kind of always just shut him down. So that's kind of what happened, and we never stopped hanging out. Number three, how has your IUD been? I just got mine and I'm so terrified. Okay, so long story short, I have a tilted uterus. So it took 3 different doctors and 3 different appointments to get mine in. It sucked. It hurt. It was the worst pain. Like anyone who's gotten an IUD knows it's literally, if this is how like giving birth is times 10, I'm screwed. It's bad. Like it's really bad. Although I would do it all over again because having an IUD has been the best for me. I once was on the pill and it was a horrible option for me because I literally would forget to take it, and I'm just not responsible like that. So having an IUD is a peace of mind for me because I don't have to think about it. Hopefully it's fine, and like you just go with it. I did have one instance, my first IUD I ever had, actually the arm of it kind of sticking to my uterus, so that was a problem. They had to get that removed and do it again. So I've actually had like 4 tries of an IUD. I'm now on my second IUD. It's working great so far. I don't think it's sticking to my uterus yet. But yeah, I think it's great. Like I said, I would redo it all over again because the pill and other forms of birth control aren't for me. Number 4, how did you first get into running? So I got into running because my boyfriend at the time, now husband, was training for an ultra 100-mile marathon. This was 2020, summer of 2020, when literally nothing was going on, okay? Like everything was shut down. I had nothing to do. I was back in Utah doing absolutely nothing. So I decided to go train with him and kind of like run a few times with him. Okay, I never ran more than a quarter of a mile in my life. I didn't grow up athletic. I didn't grow up playing sports. Like this is not my thing, okay? I just like kind of picked at it every single day. I would go a quarter of a mile, then I would do a half a mile, then I would do a mile, then I would do 1.25, 1.52. Like I would just keep building that endurance and being consistent. And you know, I ran a marathon, then I ran another one, and you know, look where we are now. I'm not an Olympian, but I love running, and that's all that really matters, right? Sorry, there was like a thing. Okay, what do you think are the ups and downs of getting married at a young age? So I think this will look different for everyone. The only downside I can think of at this question is your friends will probably still be in college and doing like normal 22-year-old things, or I got married at 20, so like normal 20-year-old things while you are married and you have a husband, you know? I think that's like very different. But at the end of the day, it's your choice, and no one can tell you like what you can and can't not do. The ups of getting married early are, 1, you have a +1 and a built-in best friend for the rest of your life. And you never have to go through the dating scene again. And Also, it's very lucky if you find your person early on to go to the heartbreak and like the hell of like the rest of the dating scene that you probably would be going through if you didn't get married. You know what I mean? Something that a lot of people used to tell me was, well, why are you getting married young? Okay, obviously I got married at 20, that's very young. And you know, I would say every single time, well, why not? Tell me a good reason why not. If this is my person and I know it and I've gotten confirmation, like, why not? So I'm just supposed to not marry them because like society tells me not to. Some may agree and disagree, totally fine. That's just kind of how I think about it. I don't know what number we're on, but did you go to college, and if so, where, and what was your experience like? So I've been doing UVU, which is Utah Valley University, online ever since I moved to LA. So I've been doing it since I graduated high school. It's been great. It's very hard just because of like the lifestyle that I have. I've taken like the easiest classes and it can be like logistically a nightmare. Mostly do my homework and get it done on the plane every week. I'm getting my bachelor's in psychology right now. The reason I picked psychology is because it's a completely online major, which means I never have to go in person, which is super nice for me because obviously with my schedule, I really can't. My ultimate goal is to graduate with my bachelor's in a year. I'm a senior, so I have about 3 semesters left. I can't believe like I've gotten this far, honestly, I really can't. Graduate with my bachelor's, and then when modeling is slowed down and I'm not traveling all the time, I wanna go back to college and I wanna get my master's in nutrition and dietetics. That's my true passion, that's what I wanna get my bachelor's in, but the school that I'm at doesn't actually have a nutrition or a dietetics program. So I've just been in the psychology program. It's great, I love it. I mean, I love learning about the human mind and like why we do what we do. Okay, can you talk about the liposuction reduction and what that was like, cost, surgery, etc. For those who don't know, I got a liposuction breast reduction, okay? It's just another way of getting a breast reduction. Liposuction is where they can only take out fat, right? So they can't take out muscle or tissue, and that was the best option for me. It's much cheaper, and not only that, but I didn't want them to take away muscle or tissue because you have to cut down here, under here, and take your nipple off, and I didn't want that. I'm so young, I don't know if I'm gonna regret my decision. Liposuction is just 2 little scars under here, and they just took out all the fat that they could. For reference, if you know how CCs work, when someone gets a breast augmentation, which is like a boob job, it usually is measured in CCs. That's how the breasts are measured for some reason. Most people will get it's so weird to say this on YouTube, but I'm just telling you like what I know. So most people get like 300 cc's in each breast, and it's like a pretty good boob job. I had 550 cc's in each. Not a lot of people know how big they were. I never posted it. I wore the most like, I always wore bikinis and sports bras and really tight bras that you would not be able to tell. I'd become so professional at hiding them. I knew every bra that worked with what. I knew how to hide them in anything, you know? They were probably pushing triple D. Now they're about a D or like a very full C, sometimes like more or less. But to me, it was worth it. The cost was around $7,000. Insurance did not cover it, unfortunately, because it's looked at as a cosmetic surgery. My back always hurt. My back doesn't hurt as bad anymore. When I run, my gosh, I can actually like go somewhere. It's not like, like it's like, it just is so much better in so many ways. I can tell the difference. I think that if you didn't know me, you wouldn't probably be able to tell the difference. Granted, I hid them extremely well before, so I don't know if you really would even know. If you get the standard breast reduction, there's a way to get insurance to cover it. I did not go through that process because the standard reduction can sometimes, you can't breastfeed, you lose sensation, and you have really, really visible scars. So that was something that, and I scar really well. I still have the 2 little scars right here. Granted, I just could have not been that good with my scar cream, but I did not want that. If after kids, they're big again, I will get a standard reduction later in my life, but right now that's not really a good choice for me. $7,000 is a lot of money, okay? I would have done it all over again. I would have drained my bank account to make this happen. It's the best thing I think I've done for myself. There's a lot of people, including my family, telling me like, don't do this, you're perfect. I get that. I get that like God has made everyone perfect in their own image, but I also think that the resources that have been given to us, like, there's a reason they're there, and it's something that I literally could not change. You know, it's like some people want a bigger butt, so they go to the gym and they lift and they squat and whatever. It's like not change having a smaller chest. So that was something to me that was very important, and I did not really care what anyone said. But yeah, I'm very happy with that, and I'm glad I did it. You guys learned a little bit more about me. Like I said, there was literally like 200 questions on Instagram. So I will do this again. If you like these videos, let me know.